When I talk with Chinese parents, they tell me the same thing. Their kids can read English, understand grammar, even do well on tests, but they can't speak English, and that's what they're looking for. You want me to tell you the secret to learning a language? Practice. And that's the same for learning anything, whether piano or kung fu. It's always the same. If you practice a lot, you get better. If you don't practice, you don't get better. It's that simple. It's not a mystery. There are usually 40 students in an English class in a public school. That means each student gets less than 1 minute of practice. That's not enough to learn a language. Most training centers have 12 to 15 students, which is a lot better than 40, but it's still too many if they want to practice spoken language. We have 3 to 4 students in each class. Not 30 or 40, not 12 to 15, 3 or 4 students. And we spend the whole class practicing our spoken English. That is why we get results. And the secret to our success, we teach English with stories. Let me explain how one of our classes works. It takes us 1 month to finish one story. 3 weeks we spend learning words on flashcards. 1 week for review and questions. Our story is the cartoon Avatar. Each flashcard has 4 pictures, and it represents a small part of the story. Each of the 4 pictures on the flashcard has 2 or 3 sentences for each picture. So that means each flashcard has about 8 to 15 sentences. Each story has about 15 flashcards, or 1,500 words. In the class, the teacher teaches the students how to say the words on the flashcards. And then after the student looks at the flashcards, they should be able to tell the story back to the teacher. We learn about 5 flashcards every week, and that's about 500 words. The students usually say the words at least 4 or 5 times. So every single student will speak at least 2,000 words every single class. Let me give you an example of one of my classes. This is Penny, a 9-year-old from Fushan Elementary School. I say complete sentence, okay? You say complete sentence. Aang and Katara want to go to the Southern Air Temple.
Aang and Katara want to go to the Southern Air Temple.
Aang uses a stick to touch Sokka. He says, "There's a snake, there's a snake."
Aang uses a stick to touch Sokka. He says, "There's a snake, there's a snake."
Sokka jumps up. He says, get it off, but now he knows it is a joke.
Sokka jumps up. He says,
Sokka jumps up. Get it off, but now he knows it is a joke.
Sokka jumps up. He says, get it off, but now he knows. But now he knows it is a joke.
Okay.
Team Avatar rides Appa to the Southern Air Temple.
I say now you and I. Okay, now together you and I say at the same time. Okay.
Aang and Katara want to go to the Southern Air Temple, but Sokka is sleeping. Aang uses a stick to touch Sokka.
He says, get it off.
Now he knows it is a
joke.
Team Avatar rides Appa to the Southern Air Temple.
Now you say by yourself, okay? You say by yourself.
Aang and Katara want to go to the Southern Air Temple, but Sokka is sleeping. Aang uses a stick to touch Sokka. He says, there's a snake. Sokka jumps up. He says, get it off. Now he knows it is a joke. Team Avatar rides Appa to the Southern Air Temple.
After the student has learned the flashcard, then the teacher will ask the student many questions to make sure the student understands. The student will also use their own language to answer back to the teacher what happened in the story. Questions are very important in this teaching method. Can Aang go to the air temple now?
Because he
Can he go now? Now, can he go? Can Aang go? Why no?
Because Sokka is sleeping.
Okay, so what is Aang's plan to make Sokka not wake up, not be sleeping anymore? What is his plan?
He uses a stick to touch Soka.
Okay, now why do you think he uses a stick to touch Soka?
Because Soka is afraid of stick.
Snake. Is he afraid of sticks or snakes?
Snakes.
Okay, now, why does Aang, he has a stick. Why does he say the stick is a snake?
Because he wants to make Soka wake up.
I know for a fact, if a student speaks 2,000 words every single week, they will improve quicker than in a training center that has 15 students and reads grammar books the whole day. Now it's her turn to tell the story back to the teacher. And we're only going to do 6 cards because 15 cards would make the video too long. I want you to notice something. I don't even have to say a word to Penny. She just looks at the pictures and then she can tell me the whole story.
Aang and Katara want to go to the Southern Air Temple, but Sokka is sleeping and uses a stick to touch Sokka. He says, "There's a snake, there's a snake." Sokka jumps up. He says, "Get it off, get it off." Now he knows it is a joke. Team Avatar rides Appa to the Southern Air Temple. Zuko goes to a Fire Nation city to fix his ship after a fight with the Avatar. Zhao says, "What happened to your ship? Why is it damaged?" Zuko didn't have any answer. He says, "Iroh, why didn't you tell Zhao what happened to our ship?" Iroh says, Zhao invites Zuko to drink tea, but Zuko refuses. Iroh says, "You need to show Zhao some respect." Sokka is looking for his seal jerky, but he cannot find it. Aang says, "I'm sorry, I put your seal jerky on the fire last night." Sokka says, "No wonder the fire smells so good." Katara is worried about Aang because she thinks all the airbenders are dead. They arrive at the Southern Air Temple. This is where Aang was born and grew up. Aang doesn't think all the airbenders are dead because the only way to get to the Air Temple is by flying bison, and the Fire Nation don't have any flying bison. Zhao is telling Zuko his plan to attack the Earth Kingdom. Zuko doesn't think it is a good plan because he thinks the Earth Kingdom is too strong. Suddenly, a Fire Nation soldier tells Zhao, Zuko's ship was damaged after a fight with the Avatar. Now Zuko has no choice. He must tell Zhao the truth. Aang is sad because he doesn't see anyone outside the Southern Air Temple. Sokka sees Aang is sad. He asks him, "Do you want to play airball with me?" Aang uses airbending to win the game easily. Sokka falls in the grass. Sokka sees a Fire Nation helmet in the snow. He wants to tell Aang the truth. Katara uses waterbending to cover the helmet. Sokka says, "You need to tell Aang the truth. This already happened 100 years ago. You can't change the past." Aang sees a statue of Monk Gyatso, his teacher and his best friend.
Okay, good job. Good job, Jaya. Thanks for watching the video on how I teach English. If you're interested in learning more, in the description of the video, there's a link to my website. I guarantee you will see results in less than 6 months. The demo class is free and we don't have long-term contracts, so you have nothing to lose.